One of my favorite things about the long now is the interval bar. Go to get a breve cappuccino, a whiskey, maybe even a bug burger. Our next speaker is the architect who built and designed it. Please welcome out Jeffrey McGrew.
Thank you. So automation is fundamentally changing the construction industry. This force that's disrupting lots of other industries as well presents a lot of opportunities and challenges for construction, but a lot of downsides too. As an architect who's been personally empowered by automation, I'd like to share some of my thinking about it today. So my name is Jeffrey, and I help run a design-build architecture studio named Because We Can. We're not only architects, we also help build our projects using digital fabrication through automation. And as was said, we're very proud to have been part of the team that helped build the interval. So already my drafting is largely automated. I don't really draw anything anymore. I create intelligent parametric 3D models of virtual buildings, and the computer in turn produces all my drawings and plans and details for me. These building information models, as they're called, are then used to build the actual project too. So a great example of this is at the Long Now, at the interval, we wanted to build this display cabinet under the stairs. And so we went off a laser scan of the stairs, we 3D modeled all the parts to fit together just so, cut them all out on a CNC routing table, which is a big robot, put them all together and installed it. So no drawings were made of that cabinet at all. By using automated tools to help design, produce, and manage the project, we're empowered to be able to focus on how to make things more interesting than how to make them all in the first place. But why is this even important? Well, honestly, because buildings are important. Buildings consume almost half our energy and then waste a third of it. They're responsible for almost a third of our landfill waste, and the whole industry is wildly inefficient. We desperately need a better way to be doing this. So what are some of the problems and challenges with automation? Well, one is that automation, surprisingly, is really fragile. Trading redundancy for efficiency is an awesome deal up until everything stops working because a single thing is wrong. And in construction, there's always something wrong. Also, sometimes we try to automate the wrong things, like 3D printing buildings, which is really just 3D printing concrete walls, which is cool, but walls are easy and cheap and anybody can make them. What we actually really need is a way to automate the replacement of old heating systems in existing buildings that are wildly inefficient. Also, all of this automation produces a lot of data and not all of it's useful. Nest thermostats, wireless sensors in concrete, and smart hard hats that track workers on the job site are all really cool. App-enabled tweeting refrigerators, not so much. So you can drown in all this data. And there's also some problems that are really specific to buildings, like buildings aren't cars. Cars are mass-produced items that are made from custom parts. Buildings are totally custom items made from mass-produced parts. So we can't just go copy what smart people like Tesla are already doing when it comes to automation. Also, every building is the result of 4 huge, opaque, and conflicting forces that are all hyperlocal to the exact spot that the building is sitting in, right? So there's all kinds of hidden risks and unforeseen consequences, and it makes it almost impossible to standardize anything in the construction industry. Construction also works in its own time frame. A really big hospital project can take 10 or 15 years to complete, long enough that the CAD used to originally design the project is so outdated that it now has to be run on virtual machines emulating old hardware to be run at all. And also, buildings have a deep cultural relevance, and when it comes to culture, we mostly care about the things that other people have done. So Mozart helped create a dice game that will automatically generate gazillions of waltzes that nobody cares about because these waltzes are boring. So even if we could fully automate construction, we might not care. So what do we do about some of these problems? Well, I think if we create semi-automated systems that are focused on empowering people and building trust in the construction team, we can enjoy some of the upsides while avoiding some of the downsides. Now, are some people going to get automated out of a job? Absolutely, probably. I mean, but I'd argue that instead, when the focus is empowering people by automating things to make them be able to do a better job than trying to replace them, you get much better results out of it. Because people are awesome. They're clever, they're adaptable, they're anti-fragile, it's really great. From the 70s, a great example, GM went all in on automation, buying tons of robots to replace union factory workers. Toyota developed a bunch of semi-automated systems to help empower everybody to deliver great quality. So Toyota focused on the people, got much better results out of it. So by using automation to do the 80% like easy tasks, so we can focus on the 20% like more higher value tasks, we're empowered, like when we were building the interval, for the automation to do the heavy lifting, so we can just focus on how to make it as interesting as possible. And increasing the amount of data without increasing the trust just leads to more noise and confusion. So automated systems that help build the amount of trust in the team and between the systems that they're working with is going to have a much bigger result. Like a great example, at any given plan set that I produce, only about a third of it is actually the building of its content. The other 2/3 is us being redundantly explicit because the city doesn't trust us and we don't trust the contractor. So we have to be extremely explicit and clear about what we're doing, even if it's the same stuff everybody always does over and over, the same code, the same drawings. So just to conclude, we desperately need better ways to build. Semi-automated systems that help empower people and build trust is one way that we can get there. We have a lot to build and even more to fix, and we desperately need a better way to go about it. Thank you very much.